Really excited to talk about our new line of deep tray molds. We had people asking for molds to create cigar ashtrays, and change holders, even like succulent pots. These molds kind of check all those boxes. They are 2 inches deep at the surround. They are 1 inch deep at the inset. So we've got an 8x8, a 6x6, and an 8-inch diameter. And these are going to be amazing because they have 1 inch super deep, as again 2 inch deep rims, which allow you to encase things like seashells and coins and art and little sculptures and things like that. These are going to be really incredible for resin artists, and of course you can use you can pre-cut pieces of wood to fit this in there, live edge wood, make a box, put it in there and fill it with resin. The possibilities with these are really actually endless. I'm so excited to announce these. We've already got some people asking about them. We just put them on the website, but you can buy them now at craftedelements.com. All right, we're going to do some other projects here. In this one, I'm going to use the 6x6 with some live edge wood. And what I'm doing, I'm just sanding out the edges and gluing them together. So I'm going to have 2 pieces that I'm just going to insert right into the mold. I'm laying down some initial resin to allow the wood to set up. So once this resin's dry, we can backfill the rest. Resin's dry, mixed up some Total Boat deep pour thick set. I'm just going to pour the rest of that. It's just a clear, there's no pigment in there, and you can see the beautiful wood popping out, and a quick demold here. Amazing thing about the silicone molds is they demold really easily, as long as you use the mold release, of course. I'm going to fill in some antique bronze epoxy just to give it an interesting pop of color. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the router table and put a chamfer or a groove right into the edge of it, because this is going to be a cigar tray. So I've got a nice groove where the cigars could be set on the side of the tray. And there you go, beautiful cigar tray. All right, next project, we're going to just do something simple. We're going to get some faux lavender, and this one's going to be purely resin. We're going to put the lavender around the perimeter of the mold. And to do that, we're just going to pour some epoxy in first. Get a nice thin layer, put the lavender in. And I'm using Maker Epoxy, which is a Total Boat product. And it's a thick, quick set product. So it'll set by tomorrow, basically, one day. And I'm just going to tint a little bit more of it with some purple and put that in there. Mixing up the next day, another layer of purple, a little bit darker this time, to create the base of the tray. And I'm actually going to use this as a succulent planter. So I'm going to get a bunch of little succulents, faux succulents from Amazon, and throw them in the planter and call it a day. I think it turned out really nice, and that purple with green just looks really slick. All right, here's another one, guys. Using these deep tray molds, I'm going to get some cogs or some wheels or whatever you want to call them, set them into resin, and these are just little trinkets from Amazon, these little cogs. Kind of going for like a clock type antique effect. So there's a lot of bronze and brass ones in there. I'm going to back pour a base layer once that initial layers with the cogs are dry, and I've got a little laser cut cog with like a clock type design that I've cut with our laser, putting it right into the resin, and then we're going to backfill that with more antique bronze pigment, because of course the cogs are all kind of a bronze and brass color as well. I just think it'll look really slick. And it does. I'm really happy with how this turned out. You got kind of an antique look to it. In this project, this one's going to be a super simple one. And it's really just going to be a candy dish. So what's better than candy is, for a candy dish, it's just using some gummy bears. So these aren't actually real gummy bears. I'm sure you could use real gummy bears in resin. I don't think it would affect them. But these are actually hard plastic gummy bears, again, from everyone's favorite e-commerce store, Amazon. And my daughter is helping out here. So we're just going to go as fast as possible, and you can see that the gummy bears are well mixed into there. Some clear resin and just demolding that. And there you go, a nice candy dish. This one came out really cool. Of course, you can put any sort of candy in here. If you're a big fan of candy and resin, check out Reed Navarro. She's one of our makers, and she uses some of our molds, but she puts like all these types of candy in resin. I hope by watching this video you realize that these deep tray resin molds have a lot of potential to create some unique things. You know, from flower pots and succulent planters to cigar trays, decorative dishes and trays, and whatever this is. Even put in some gummy bears and have a candy dish. Their 1 inch thick wall allows you to put large objects directly into the perimeter of the object, and of course the 2 inch profile gives you a substantial amount of room to work with. I hope this video's kind of got your mind thinking about some of the interesting things in wooden resin you can do with these. And if you want to get your own, head over to craftedovens.com now. Thanks for watching.